webinar for today, which is, sorry, the cryptocurrency report for today, which is Wednesday the 3rd of November. 3rd of November is an important date in our lives. Why? Because it's 2 days before the 5th of November. And the midpoint of the season is where things change. Have you ever noticed that when the Melbourne Cup is, Melbourne is miserable generally up till really the end of October in a lot of ways, and then suddenly magically at 3 p.m. on the second Tuesday in November, or the first Tuesday in November, suddenly the weather gets magical. It's bizarre, and I always used to see the clouds being crappy until about 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock, and then by 3 o'clock around that time it'd just get magical. The sun in Melbourne is awesome in summer. It is, you know, it just starts to click on around that early November. That's the midpoint of the season of summer. The 5th is but the perfect time, but starts on around the 1st, 2nd, 3rd area. So we do see life change in Melbourne, and things get better, and that's why our friend Daniel Andrews, our friend and best dictator ever, Daniel Andrews, suddenly released people, as well as having a Dominic Perrottet kick up the arse. Now Dominic Perrottet, of course, is corrupt. He's getting the tail end of all of the profits for premiers from the booster shots, from the original vaccinations, and he's having a bit of a kick for the unvaccinated. Anyway, let's go laughing in the park with our friend Bitcoin. BTC USD. We are still long, I believe, and our stop loss was not violated. We saw a dip down below 60,000, and hopefully we got filled at 59,800. Entered all. So we had our final 1/3 position entered on the 2nd or 1st of November. And I'm very happy about that. We can raise our stop loss up to $140,000, but we can raise it up to 50. BTC AUD. We are currently long. And we can see some extra volume today, which is pleasing. There is a little bit of overhead resistance here which it's failing to close through. We can bring our stop loss up to 80,051. And we can hope for brave new highs. Full stop, new line. There's some weird stuff in the volume characteristics, but we can hope for maybe close to $90,000 in this run, just by virtue of the fact that it's going up against the US dollar new line. ETH USD Ethereum new line. Ethereum is working its way higher. I have been keener on Ethereum than I have Bitcoin. Full stop, new line. We were looking to buy a dip down to 4,132. And the best laid plans of me and mice missed out by $20. Full stop, new line. Not filled on Ethereum. If you are long on this, have a stop loss at 41.39. Full stop, new line. ETH BTC Ethereum versus Bitcoin. If you are long this, have a stop loss at 0.0691. It is meeting some of the criteria that I said that we should be looking for higher, and eventually something like 0.08 target. Full stop, new line. LTC USD new line. Litecoin is working its way up. Stop can now move to $187. Hope can be for $215. Volume is somewhat encouraging. Full stop, new line. XMR USD, Monero, new line. We were hoping to get filled at $260 and we never got filled. Full stop, new line. At the moment, I'll still wait for $260, new line. Polygon AUD, Matic AUD. This is not doing very well. It needs to break above $2.65 with a stop loss below $2.48, seeking $2.90. At the moment, I'm not that hopeful of it moving very well, but if it does everything else like the other ones, then it's going up now on increasing a touch of increasing volume, just slightly. Notice the higher low, the higher close, and the higher last price, and the higher high slightly. So we might have some luck with this full stop new line. BCH USD, Bitcoin Cash, new line. Stop loss should be at $580. A break above $610 looks for $655 full stop new line. BSV USD, Bitcoin Cash, Satoshi Vision version, new line. Have a stop loss at $160, buy a break above $168, target $177, new line. EOS USD, new line. This is still okay a bit. If you are long, have a stop loss at $4.47, new line. Neo USD, new line. This has been going up on decreasing volume, so please have a stop loss at $42.50 if you are long, just in case it becomes not so good. Full stop new line. ZEC USD, Zcash, new line. Have a stop loss at $160, full stop new line. DGB USD, new line. A stop loss at 5.4 cents if long. It went for a pretty serious run up to above 7 cents. I'd say it's probably going to get there, so if you're going to give it a go, it'll come back up to this area here. DGB is a buy on a break above 5.8 cents for a new PHG trade. Full stop new line. Potential. KDA.ASX, Kadena. KDA.ASX, Kadena. This is kind of doing what everything else has, or many things, done a triangle, probably goes higher into the fifth wave. We are long on a PHG trade. We can have a stop loss at $5.79, new line. Now I think we bought this yesterday or the day before, so stop loss is in the correct place, even though it might not look so if we're doing the same routine. Thank you very much. for attending, and we will go and have a look at everything. So how's freedom in Melbourne there for you, Rob? I hope it's good. Just need to find a couple of things up my sleeve. So basically with cryptos, things are still good under the hood. All good under the hood, or in the hood, or whatever they call it. All good in the hood. Okay, well, we did the cryptocurrency report. Welcome to the Forex Speed webinar for Wednesday, the 3rd of November 2021. We have long-term bullhorns warnings in nothing. We have short-term bullhorns warnings in US dollar CHF. We have long-term bear pause warnings in USD, JPY, NZD, USD, and USD. We have short-term. Let's go and have a look at some of these Forex things. It had a good rally, and then it stopped us out, and then it fizzled out, and nothing happened, and I don't expect much to happen for a little while. That's just too annoying. Probably more churn will happen. EUR USD. Another day of disappointments. Nothing happening. We cleaned out a lot of things here at the moment. Not interested, other than maybe just don't care. Here's the Aussie dollar. We have been stopped out. Stop was at 74.40. Yeah, we've been filled. Should have had the stop up here. Probably, we would have been stopped out. If I had it lifted, it would have been 74.60. We took some profit. We are filled, and we can go stopped out exclamation mark for a profit. Second of the 11th. Now we saw some things achieved. I think we achieved the 74.78, but did we achieve? We didn't. We got 74. Yes, we got some targets there made in the Aussie. Probably should have taken some profit at that other target. Otherwise, we made some money and we are happy, but not happy for the Aussie dollar, because it's not in a good space. We'll talk about that maybe later. USD CHF, we're looking to sell at 93.50. That has not been fulfilled. What's USD we've got on the books here, looking for 112.45. I don't know why, I just don't feel like taking any bond. USD, that's in a spot of bother, John. Probably comes at least to 1.358 and probably down to 1.35127. USD CAD, bit of a basing here. still a fourth wave really. Maybe it can come up to 1.24, but otherwise look for new lows later and a strengthening of the Canada against the US corrupt currency. Kiwi, long-term bear pause warnings are working alright for Jacinta, and yeah, we want discrimination against people. And here's the Swissy. I don't know whether I showed the chart for it. Life's a bit better for the Swissy. Let's turn to commodities. Welcome to the Wednesday, the 3rd of November 2021. Just as an aside, hedge any US dollar payments you need to make out of Australian dollars. Probably for about a month, I think. Welcome to the 3rd of November 2020 with the Commodity 9 of Alpha Securities. AFSL 330757, Suite 30110 Bridge Street. This is general advice, does not constitute financial product advice, does not take into account your investment objectives or particular needs. We have some long-term bear pairs warnings in the cotton, heating oil, coffee and Kansas wheat. Short-term bear pause warnings in crude oil, Kansas wheat, platinum, silver, soybean meal and oats. We have long-term bullhorns warnings in palladium and oats. We have short-term bullhorns warnings in cocoa, bond, bobble, shats, natural gas, sugar, euro, dollar, 5-year notes. And I was talking about it coming down. It's amazing what happens when you say people can go back to work instead of oppressing them. Things happen. Things change. Don't they? Things change. So, really, 28.45 does look feasible. Really. Let's look. Told you so. Told you so. 66.92. This trend is just starting. It's almost ready to break the old lows. Which of course will mean that China can probably spend some money propping up its industry again because it's cheaper, will it? This is aluminium, the stuff they make windows out. They make windows out of for building. Big collapse. Look up to 240, 242. It's been to 221. I think this is getting ready for a bit of a bounce, and I think you'll find better above 220. Uranium, we'll look at coke and coal first, because on a bigger scale, because I haven't looked for a while. So it's a little bit healthier. While it could still go down to 26.01, I suspect it's more likely to go up to 31.22 on the top side, because India, China, Russia, a few other countries are going to want coal to produce stuff now that iron ore is cheaper. A lot of the commodity boom is Kaputnik. Now we'll look at the London Nickel Brigade, of which the data is... This is unbelievable. Okay, that's just weird. The data seems to have been cleaned up. Hilarious, hilarious, hilarious. after all my massive edits, we can see that it is holding a little bit of support. Hopefully it can get ready to go up to retreated towards $43 a pound. Oh, right, okay. Cameco posted a loss of 72 million. How does it do that? And in the same quarter. So what I was saying the other day is that I thought it would come back down into this region. So the uranium stocks are going to get cheaper. We'll probably see one more day of falls. Then we'll start to see another rally. It may continue for a bit longer, this churn, but nonetheless it's not too bad in the longer run. Given this pattern, it will go eventually higher. Let's pick into cocoa. Cocoa we got out of, we're happy. We can now give it a try at 22.45, so let's buy market on open. Let's look at yep. So we'll have a stop loss at 23.8. We'll buy 1/3 market on open. We'll buy 1/3 at 24.45, and then we'll buy 1/3 on a break above 25.69 and 26.16. If it works, of course. Crude oil. A breakdown below 82.96 looks down towards 79.76 or 80. Even though I was interested in it. Let's go to 18.15. That never happened. Platinum, we're long. Stop is at 1,000. Going to bring the stop up to, we're not yet stopped out, but it's close. Might bring the stop up to 23.37 or 38. Soybeans, we've been waiting for the dip. Still right. Wheat, just been, I must admit, I'm feeling a disconnection between wheat and my brain. I'm wondering why that is. Why am I missing what's going on in wheat? That we have had basically a good move up 842 target. There is no major triangle in the shorter term. There is a triangle here, so if you're long, stop below 733, look for 842. Corn, this is better, although it may get knocked on the head at $5.91. Soybean oil, uh, 66.30, stop should be below 60. Wonder if it's the green tea I've been drinking. Been drinking a bit of green tea lately, or Chinese tea. Normally that's something, there might be some difference. Had a couple of glasses of wine too, so maybe that's why I'm missing the mark. Anyway, sorry, that's for me to ponder and you to not be interested in. I normally don't have caffeine. A break above 163 looks to 168, a stop loss below 158. I normally don't drink, so that's probably the reason. This is confused. Look at this, A, B, C, A, B, C. Should it be forming? Yeah, there's a triangle. So we're still going to get, this is the problem with borrowing lots and lots of money, is eventually you have to pay it back. So we'll 5 and 137, so we're really seriously in the last leg of higher interest rises. Not good for the bonds. This is the 10-year notes. They're just cactus anyway. Look at the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's already done a 5-wave structure to the downside. So what does that mean? 10s have been weaker than the 30 years. So in the rally, the 10 years should be stronger than 30s, and it should look like everything's hunky-dory, but it's not. Okay, eventually looking for 126 on the downside. So we probably see 136 on the top side for the 10-year notes in some sort of weird yield curve twist, and look down to 126 on the downside. Copper. Copper is just a mess. Heating oil, and I'm doing weekly charts because the dailies are giving me the irrits. Heating oil, probably if it breaks 2.44, then it starts to be an issue. Orange juice, we should be looking down towards. I usually at this time of year, I usually want to get set somewhere between 90 and 95. So let's go for the juice. And we'll do JOF22, and we'll buy at 93. Stop loss will be below 85. Target TBA. Potential. Okay. Sugar, we're long, stop is at 1920, which is just below break even. Stop loss is at 1891, look for 1830 or 1840. We did get stopped, we have been taken away. No, have we? Wait a sec, it's the weeklies. We're still in. No, we're not. We had a low at 1920. Bummer. No, we're alright. No, we're not alright. 1, 2, 3. Yep, we got clicked by 1 pip. That's irritating and unnecessary loss. We did cocoa, we've done all the PHG trades, however sloppy they feel. Coffee, it's doing okay. If long stop is at 200. Lumber, it's falling away. We thought it'd be, as I've been going for 3-4 months. Maybe that helps. Natural gas, we've seen a retracement. Look up to $5.84. Nothing to think about here. We've done everything else aside from maybe RBOB, gasoline and natural gas, I think. So natural RBOB gasoline has rallied pretty well. That's good. If you're long, have a stop loss below 2.32. You can buy dips to 2.33 if they happen. And natural gas. Oh, we've done it. It was RBOB that I didn't do. Going on to that side, there's nothing to do with international equities. Okay, let's go in and just got to pull this up. And welcome to the Profit Anglers World Indices Speed Webinar for Wednesday the 3rd of November. 3rd of November. We've had the fun. We've had all the fun that anyone could ever want with being long stocks. Eventually you have to pay for it. Is it going to be now? I don't think so. For every party there is a hangover, and some hangovers are worse than others, full stop, new line. It's going to be a very big hangover stage. The pay For the time being, we have some short-term bear pause warnings on a hell of a lot of stocks. And eventually, higher interest rates hurt stock market prices. Full stop, new line. The chart of this looks like the inverse of the Baltic Dry Index, new line. This had an extraordinary rally. And I guess the sound of Joe Biden putting $3 billion into infrastructure around transport is probably the cause, question mark. The insanity just transfers from one place to one place when you have a clearly controlled president who is clearly a passive-aggressive piece of crap. Running around shoving government money into places where government money should have been spent sparingly before. Now, crisis, chuck money at it because I've got a checkbook created by American people. It's disgusting. I don't know what to make of this bar. This is just ridiculous. It's government intervention, profiting capitalists who are socialists. And I can't stand the look of this chart, and I just want to vomit when I how confused the market must be about the Dow Transports, full stop. A little bit further, I think. Anyway, one of the S&P or the Dow needed to go a bit further, which it did, this one. I can't say that it's reached the top, but what I can say is that volume is not. It's hard to short, but it's so tempting to short. New line. S&P 500, cash in up and away. Ignoring anything mathematically that would make sense for a top. 12 or 13 years ago, my mentor said, the markets are fucked. I'm not going to do any more trading because they've destroyed them, full stop, new line. And that was during the GFC. And I had a good GFC. But really, this rally just has nothing that you would normally think of a bull market, because volume's just not going with it, full stop, new line. It's almost like nobody wants to sell, so there's no volume, and the buyers that can find friends to buy off quickly lose their friends, and the friends are scrambling to buy, and there's no real reason or rhyme other than it's a bull market, why it's going up, full stop, new line. I don't know, I don't understand. Nothing, full stop, new line. What we could say is a break below 45.50 is probably negative, full stop, new line. E-mini S&P internals, new line. This chart, pure confusion. That's all I'm feeling at the moment, pure. Move on, and next, new line. NASDAQ, new line. For some reason I've pulled up the 5-minute chart on the NASDAQ. For the NASDAQ is a sign that it's not going to 16,118, but it probably will, full stop, new line. When you can see how all of the globalists, all of the social media company people, all the artists, they all pile into COP26, COP out 26, with all of the people who are occasionally wearing masks for photos, but then not wearing masks when they're kissing and hugging everybody. The masks are off, the game is up, but we now know that we cannot get rid of these government officials because they are liars, they are thieves, they are cheats, they are murderers, they have killed people unnecessarily, and yet we as people cannot rise up and kill these politicians because there are no guns and because we have been pussified, and these politicians are getting away with the fact that most people are brain dead morons who have been anaesthetised by alcohol, payments of money. The billionaires fly in on a jets to say, stop polluting, stop using carbon. Oh, and you're not using a $65 million Learjet just to transport you and two of your best buddies and having 400 planes flying to Glasgow for fuck's sake? You lying, dirty pieces of shit. And you should be executed. But anyway, meanwhile, back in humane land, we're in the markets, we're supposed to go, don't drive your car, don't fly for 2 years because you might get the virus that we have over here. Lying pieces of crap, the politicians, and it's so sad that our youth has been pussified and men have been taught to be gay and transgender and emasculated and had their balls cut off. I'm not even talking to my children anymore. I'm not bothered with them because they're just slaves. They're unthinking slaves, which is very, very sad. Anyway, I'm sure that's happening in many households around the world. Maybe a bit less now that people have been freed up so their parents can run away from their children and go somewhere else. Full stop, new line. I see the abuse that young teenagers heap upon their parents in a few ways, and it's pretty disgusting. Kids are pretty brainwashed by their education, extremely brainwashed, and it's really tragic. New line. Anyway, this is the realm. This index is the. We bought some on the 1st of December. We bought some volatility index. 1/3, our final 1/3 at 16.7. We also took profit on 1/3 at 17.3. Which effectively means we are running another 1/3, so we can buy probably 1/3 at 13.73 again. As you can hear, the planes are back and my irritation levels will get higher. German DAX, new line. Angela Merkel puts a mask on as she gets out of the car, walks past the soldiers with masks on, takes the masks off, and then rushes and kisses and hugs all the world leaders that she's come so firmly to treat as her family. Stop loss should be to get, but certainly. So Germany and Angela Merkel have rushed headlong into a double top. I can't see any reason to be 10,746 new line. If you are long, you might want to take some profit at the top, but you'll probably feel pretty bad later. The top area should be 16,035. Euro stocks 50, new line. Target 43.13. Chart pattern in mind for this, let me know, because it's kind of like an expanding struggle street pattern. Full stop, new line. Italian MIB, new line. Looking back in history, I know that it's historic high was back in 2000. Kind of noticed the retest of the low back over here. I think I was talking about it going to those lows. I didn't realise that it would do it in 1 month. Full stop, new line. At the forecast, I said this can hold up till the end of November and then have a bit of a dip for a couple of weeks for a buying opportunity. Still seems to be the same. Shanghai A shares index, new line. This rejected itself, that 36 area which I've been talking about came more true. This is a very strange market, but generally you might think about buying some. Stop loss below 36.56 at the moment. It copped a rally and a slapping. Probably best stop would be at 24.912, and the best thing I could say is I have no clue. New line. Japanese Nikkei. Looking up towards 30,000 maybe. Stop dips to buy at 29,210. Stop loss below 29,137. Australian Share Price Index Futures, SPI. Basically 3 days of not knowing what the hell to do with itself. I can appreciate the feeling. Probably will fall out of bed. Notice that some of the banks got beaten up, and you'd think that the financials would be dragging it down, but it's not yet. A break below 72.80 looks down to 71.74. Maybe they just think because the rest of the world stock markets are in a good move that we could expect that to go higher. Full stop, new line. I don't know. The proof is in the pudding is the break up or the breakdown. Full stop, new line. Australian Share Price Index Futures Internals, SPI, new line. $78.3, new line. Maybe it's my head, but things are